Well, good morning. And what a wonderful morning. So happy to see all of you for our service of worship and celebration this morning. So, about 6 months ago, when David was about to have his first treatment, we held a vigil service. It was at 8 o'clock on a Thursday morning. There were a good number of folks here, and we held a vigil service in David's honor. And at that time, we lit a candle. And we lit that candle as a symbol of the love and the prayers, and that we would hold David and Danielle and Kinza in our hearts and prayers throughout the whole term of David's treatment. There are many people in our congregation having some tough times this year, and so the candle was really a symbol of that love and prayers for all of them. This morning, David, we're going to ask you to put that candle out because you're back. So, we're going to ask David to put the candle out, and then we're going to ask him to light the Christ candle as we begin our service this morning.
Oh, Paul, give me. I'm back. Here's the problem. This is what we designed, that I was going to blow this candle out as a symbol of being back. But I feel somehow superstitious that we had this staff meeting, we figured out how we were going to do the candles this morning, but I've got this superstitious thing, and I don't want to blow that candle out. So if it's all right by you, I'm not going to blow that candle out, all right? In fact, I have another design for that candle, which will become revealed later in the service. How's that? But I will be absolutely thrilled to death to light our Christ candle for this morning. So if that's all right to start worship, allow me to do that. Rick, thank you. Okie doke. So in the beginning, God created the universe, and God brought light into the darkness of chaos and the void. And then in the fullness of time, God decided to reveal God's presence in a very special way in the life and being of Jesus of Nazareth. And that light shone in a dark world in a powerful and beautiful way. And I want to testify to you today that that light, which is the same light that lit this candle, the same light that shines in each and every single one of you the way it shone in Jesus, that light continues to be a source of incredible wisdom and courage and healing for the world today, just as it was for me, just as it has been for you, just as it will continue to be for all of us. The light of God's Spirit. May worship begin. Amen.
So as you can see, this is a very, very special service today. It's a service of celebration. We're so glad to have David back, our team leader. We're so glad that his health is restored, and we're so glad that you're here to celebrate in that. And if you happen to be visiting here for the first time, you've come to a very special service, and we hope that you find our church to be one that is very open and accepting. And if you'd like to connect with us further, there are blue cards in the pew in front of you, and we'd be delighted if you'd fill it out, and we can contact you later if you'd like. You can just place them in the offering trays as they go around a little later in the service. So welcome again. And another reason that it's a special today is because we're celebrating fathers. We're celebrating those father figures, those dads, those male role models that just leave such important, wonderful lights and legacies. So happy Father's Day to you. And so now over to Rick as we continue to celebrate in music.
Good morning. Let's rise and sing together. I'm gonna live so God can use me. I'm gonna live so God can use anywhere, Lord, anytime. I'm gonna live so God can use me anywhere, Lord, anytime. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna sing. Big ending. Anywhere, Lord, you've been so good to me. Every day you're blessing me. Every day is a day of thanksgiving. I will glorify you, oh my Lord, today. Again. Every day is a day of thanksgiving. God, you've been so good to me. Every day you're blessing me. Every day is a day of thanksgiving. By you, oh my Lord, today. You keep blessing me, blessing me, blessing me. You opened the door that I might see your blessing me. And you keep blessing me, blessing me, blessing me. I will glorify you, oh my Lord, today. You keep blessing me, blessing me, blessing me. You opened the door that I might see your blessing me. You keep blessing me. a day of thanksgiving. God, you've been so good to me. So good. Every day you're blessing me. You know that every day is a day of thanksgiving. I will glorify you, oh my Lord, today. One more time. Every day is a day of thanksgiving. God, you've been so good to me. Every day you're blessing me. Every day is a day of thanksgiving. I will glorify you, oh my Lord, today.
Amen. Remain standing for one more.
Spirit, open my heart to the joy and pain of living. As you love me, I love in receiving and in giving. Spirit, open my heart. God, replace my stony heart with a heart that's kind and tender. All my coldness and fear, to your grace I now surrender. Spirit, open my heart to the joy and pain of living. As you love me, I love in receiving and in giving. Spirit, open my heart. Write your love upon my heart. As my all, my story, in each heart, word and deed, may my living bring you glory. Spirit, open my heart to the joy and pain of living. As you love me, I love in receiving and in giving. Spirit, open my heart. May I be with those who weep. Share the joy of sister, brother, in the world love of Christ. May we welcome one another. Spirit, open my heart to the joy and pain of living. As you love me, I love in receiving and in giving. Spirit, open my heart.
Please be seated.
Okay, so our church is overflowing right now. So we'd like to provide more seats for people who are standing in the back. So if you have space beside you, can you put up your hand? And so people can come forward as they see hands raised. Just keep your hands raised, thanks. Come forward. Please come forward. Have a seat. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so do we have more people, Jennifer? Okay, sorry, keep up your hands. We want everyone to come in and enjoy the service, have a seat and be comfortable. There's lots of spaces up here. Great. 2 seats up at the front here, just beside this young man here. Yeah. There's more spaces right here. Right up here, sir. Great. Is that good, Jennifer? Okay, we're good. Awesome. So please, we'll just bow our heads in prayer. Gracious and ever-present God, you hear our prayers. Today we gather together with overflowing and grateful hearts. We thank you for David's restored health, for his return to us. Thank you that he's back here in this space where we join one another as a community of faith on a journey to grow even deeper in our faith, in our love, and in our desire to make a difference in this world. We are reminded today that our interconnectedness brings healing, light, and love. Hold us together and keep us strong. And as we journey together, may we be a constant source of love, kindness, and joy to each other. May we always see your face in the faces around us. Help us to shine your love in this beautiful life you have given to each one of us. May we continue to find strength and healing through the joining of your Spirit. Together, may we live your essence and share in your wonder. Please pray together as we look on the screen. God of love and life, holy is your name. Let the fullness of your grace be within us and around us. We pray for food, shelter, and safety today, for ourselves and for all your creation everywhere. Let us forgive the offenses of others as we are forgiven our own offenses. May our hearts be open to courage and strength in our times of trial, and may we always be compassionate. At this time, I'd like to invite the ushers forward as we take this opportunity to share our gifts with the greater community. So while the ushers are coming forward, we do have a couple announcements, and Jen is going to come first with an announcement. Jen Power, since you're here and you're coming, so.
Good morning. May these pews be this filled in the weeks and months of summer. Summer is coming, and next Sunday is our annual church picnic. So there are a few photos that are going to come up on the screen here. Our annual church picnic, toward the second to last weekend in June, every year we gather. My hat is already being designed for next week. You need to come and take a look at its loveliness. The annual picnic, if you have not been, it's a time for community. It's a time of games. It's an intergenerational time of sharing, getting to know each other, to celebrate, to relax, to pull up a piece of grass or bring your picnic blanket, and to have lots of fun. There's three-legged races and sack races for people of all ages. There's face painting, and this year we have 3 face painters, I believe. The parachute will be back. Lots of fun and games. And this year, now this one you need to listen to. This year we are doing something a little bit different with food, okay? We're not having the barbecue this year. We're going to give it a try this year. Everybody packs their own picnic lunch. So we're not going to have the barbecue this year, but so we invite you to bring your picnic lunch to the picnic, and there are going to be treats. There's going to be watermelon, there's going to be ice cream, there's going to be freezies, and those treats are at no charge. So before we've had to have a nominal fee for the burgers and the chips and pop. This time around, bring your own healthy or whatever you want lunch, and know that there are treats available. There's watermelon and other treats available, and there is lots and lots of fun to be had. All right, so hopefully you will join us for a shorter worship service next week and a whole lot of fun down at the Bedford Lions Park. It's just in behind the Bedford Lions pool, and it's a great space because it's not too large that we lose each other. It's a place we can spread out and have some fun, but also sort of be surrounded and with community and friendship. If you have any questions, please contact me or anyone of the Christian Development Committee. And speaking of the Christian Development Committee, I would like to invite Monica Geske, who is one of our chair people of our Christian Development Committee, because has she got an offer for you?
Good morning, everyone. My lovely assistant Lauren here is going to be passing around this stunning clipboard, and on it is a sign-up for Sunday school teachers for the summer. Now, when I thought of doing this announcement, I thought, how can I get you people to fill this out? I thought I could do the good old American thing and filibuster. I could stay up here and talk all afternoon and keep David from coming up here until you fill it out. I'm American. I love the spotlight. And I love to hear myself talk. So that was the one option. The other option is I could go to my Catholic roots and just use some good old-fashioned guilt. So here it comes. All through the school year, the members of the Christian Development Team and the many wonderful volunteers have provided Sunday school to these blessings of children that we have here every week. And it is a labor of love. It is something we enjoy doing. And it does come with a bit of sacrifice, and that is that we do miss the worship time. And if I hear about one more amazing sermon that I've missed, I will weep. So we would like our chance to be able to be in these cozy pews with the rest of you. But we would also like to give you the opportunity to see what is the wonder and the miracle of these children. We have lessons plans already for the entire summer. You have small groups, mixed ages, only maybe 5 to 8 kids. The lesson time is usually only 20 to 30 minutes, and I guarantee that you will get so much more from this than you will ever have to put into it. Listening to these children, hearing their perspectives, sharing in their laughter, and being a rock star every time you come to church now and they see you and they say to their mom, oh, that's my teacher. That's the one that I had my teacher. Is the best payback you could ever ask for. So we really hope you will prayerfully consider signing up just one Sunday. Just a half an hour is all we ask. And to help you, all of the members of our committee will partner with anybody who wants to come and try this out. And this means you teens too. It can be anybody. We want you to have the opportunity to do this. So I hope I have guilted you enough. I've filibustered a little. But I will hand the service back over, and I hope when we're all done that sheet is filled and my heart will be filled even more. Thank you so much.
That guilt wasn't so bad. It sounded more like an opportunity. So now I'd like to, a couple more quick announcements. We have Jennifer Thomas who'd like to come up. And there, she's right here.
Good morning. In February of 2015, myself and a small group of volunteers, most of them from Bedford United, are going back to the Dominican to do another mission trip. Yesterday was our first fundraiser. We had a garage sale here at the church. I just really wanted to say thank you to everybody who donated items, who was here to help set up, to take everything down during the sale. And I wanted to give our grand total because we surpassed our goal, so I was really happy. We were able to raise $2,170.37. So thank you.
Awesome. And Terry Choice for a quick announcement?
I'm American too, but I don't like the limelight. I just want to say a real heartfelt thank you to the 10 people who made the tributes to BUC this week on the Facebook page and on the website. This was put on by the New Communications Committee. Steve McDonald, raise your hand, is the chair. And big thanks to Nick. I think you need to stand up. This was the brainchild of Nick. Yeah. And one of the posts had over 600 people view it on Facebook. If you're not on the BUC Facebook page, get on it. It's a place to be. Thank you.
Okay, so I just want to announce that today only, the preschool and toddlers are the only ones that are going to Sunday school. Okay, so the others can sit with their parents in the pew. And at this time, we'll invite the ushers forward.
Cannot own the Sunday star. The moon and what was we are part of all that is within my spirit for me. With open hands receive and share the gifts of God's creation.
O God, from whom the breath of life comes, you fill all realms of sound, light, and vibration. We thank you for your light that is experienced here in our giving. Bless these gifts that they would flourish in abundance and further your kingdom here on earth with grateful hearts. Amen.
Please.
At this time, I'd like to invite Megan Ashtona for the scripture reading.
Good morning. This morning, I'm sharing with you several of Jesus' stories about shalom. Shalom is a Hebrew word. It means something like peace, but it means more than that. Jesus told many parables to help us understand shalom. Maybe he was laughing a little when he told this one. God's shalom is like a mustard seed. Jesus said as he held the tiny seed in his hand, "See how tiny it is? You think a mustard seed can grow into a small plant? Well, pretend that it can grow, big as a tree. Pretend that birds will come and make nests in its branches." And everyone laughed. A mustard seed plant as big as a tree? Yes, Jesus laughed too. God's shalom is a little like that. Then Jesus told an even funnier story. You know the yeast people use to make bread? You can't see how the yeast works. It just bubbles around inside the bread. Well, suppose a woman took a tiny bit of yeast. Suppose she mixed it with a lot of flour and water. The yeast would work inside the dough. After a while, she would have enough bread to feed 100 people. You mean one tiny bit of yeast could make all that flour into bread, someone asked? That's right, Jesus smiled. God's shalom is like that. You can't see it working, but it's there all the time, working in you and working in me. Here's another way to think about God's shalom, said Jesus. God's shalom is like a treasure hidden in a field. If you knew about that treasure, you would go and sell all the things you had. Then you would take the money and buy the whole field. You would want the treasure to be yours. Should we want God's shalom that much? The people asked. Yes, said Jesus, that much. I think BUC knows a little bit about shalom. What do you think?
So BUC, when David returned to Jerusalem, being away for a while, and he was bringing the Ark of the Covenant back, he felt this uncontrollable urge to dance. And he danced his way all the way back to Jerusalem. So BUC, if any of you want to dance with me this morning as I dance up the aisle, get up on your feet and dance. Maestro, hit the music. Let's go. Maestro.
Phone in my hand. Baby, you got my number anywhere that I stand. Oh, I can't wait till I get you next to me. When I dream about you, I dream is sweet. Well, when I talk about you, baby,
where are the kids? Come on, buddy.
Baby, I can't wait till I get you next to me. Call my number, come and see. I can't wait till I get you next to me. You water my peaches, shake my tree. I can't wait till I get you next to me. Day after day, night after night, I'm living on the feeling everything's gonna be alright. I'm gonna show you how big the love can be. I can't wait till I get you next to me, oh baby.
Oh, turn it around. BUC, I was done with the blues. I was done with the blues, and I couldn't wait to get you next to me. Arthur Adams and B.B. King, courtesy of, for that wonderful song earlier on. I couldn't wait to get back to you. I am absolutely thrilled to death to be back to you. And I just want to say thank you. Your love and your care has just been overwhelming this past 6 months. I'm still catching my breath. We have received cards, and they've hung around a circle on a string just like here in our sitting area all through my time of chemo. Received all these cards. My family has received emails. We received notes. We've received flowers and plants. Danielle tells me we have way too many to handle, and if any of you would like to give one a perfect home, she says, I can't do it all, and you can't do it all, so there's some plants in the hall afterwards if you'd like to take one as a little expression of solidarity with the vegetative kingdom. Received books and music. It's all reminded me that I am part of this community of shalom, this beautiful community that we are here at BUC, and which is what God intends for the whole world and for all our lives. Shalom, it means peace, but it means more than that. It means justice. It means compassion. It means caring. It means love. And for all these many years, I have been enveloped with you in that kind of shalom, that kind of community. And when you're sort of removed from that quickly, it's like cold turkey, like it's withdrawal symptoms are huge, right? But you didn't let me go through that kind of withdrawal because you kept that love and that care and that compassion coming my way and coming to our household and our family throughout this whole period while I've been in treatment. There was one wild and woolly winter's night. It was pouring rain outside. And there's a group of characters in the front row who showed up at my front door. And they said, "We just wanted to give you a BUC hug." So they brought this guy. Boys and girls, do you know who this is? I don't know if boys and girls even know who this is anymore. Who is this? Who is this? This is Elmo. And where does Elmo come from? Sesame Street. That's so cool. You know, and I started when Elmo came. And so I need to, boys and girls, I just need you to check this out. I hope I don't get squealing when I do this. And I hope this.
Hello, friend. Elmo loves you. Elmo loves getting hugs from you.
Can you crank that up more?
You feel special, so hug someone you love to show you care. Wrap your arms around them and hold them close. Elmo loves to hug you the most.
Now, doesn't that just steal your heart away? This is the kind of love that I've been receiving over these past 6 months. Now, and you know the thing is, when Elmo came to my house, I hadn't looked at Sesame Street in years. And so I went back to Sesame Street, and I mean, when you're in a major chemotherapy funk, your mind is in a depressed kind of state and your body's feeling like, well, whatever. You start watching Sesame Street, it's impossible to stay blue for very long, let me tell you. It's absolutely impossible. So Elmo is just an example of the incredible love and care that you have brought to me over this year. And what I want to tell you is that it's absolutely crystal clear to me that as amazing a job as the doctors have done, an even more amazing part of my healing has been the result of all this prayerful, beautiful energy and care that has been directed my way. And I want to say it's the physical expressions of that, but I knew that behind every single expression there was a prayer from the heart invoking the divine energy into my life. And for that incredible healing spirit and love that you've shared with me this year. But you see, all I can say is, thank you. Now, another thing that contributed to my healing this year was this awareness that while I was away, that there was a staff team here who were doing just an incredibly brilliant job while I was away. Kinsey, will you bring them up? So Rick, come on, keep it up. Rick, where's Rick? Rick, get up here. Get down here. And Gloria, come over here. Where are you? And Jen, come over here. And Bonnie and Bill, come over here. the most incredible staff team I or you could ever be blessed with. Thank you. You have gone over and above, not just for me, but for our community, to just shine with spirit and love and care and wisdom. You've even sprung a few new things on the place while I've been gone. That's absolutely brilliant. So I guess, that's all right. So you're absolutely awesome. Kinza, will you, I've just a little token of our collective appreciation as we give each of these beautiful people a rose that symbolizes the love of our hearts for each and every one of you. Give them another big hand, everybody. Thank you. The thing about having a brilliant team is that you can become a little threatened and intimidated on occasion, right? You think, well, maybe they don't need me. Every time, I told the team this, right? Every time one of you would connect with me throughout my time away, you'd say, we really, really miss you, and it's really, we're really looking forward to you coming back, but you know what? Staff are doing an incredible job, really fabulous. And you start getting a little insecure after a while, right? Teaming is about teaming. When one shines, all shine, right? When all shine, one shines. You have this beautiful team, and they just absolutely shine. And I feel so proud and honored to be a part of this team. There's, besides knowing that you were doing so well, and that ministry was carrying on and the place was vibrant and alive, I was also very aware that there were so many of you lay leaders here in our community who had really stepped forward and who were really demonstrating incredible leadership as well. And a lot of you who have come on board, there have been new people who have come on board while I've been away too, and you're probably thinking, who is this guy who's coming back? We were doing really well without him, right? So there have been wonderful lay leaders who have come on board as well during my time away. And it made me think maybe I should go away more often, there's good things happening. So I don't want to single out any one person, because there are so many of you who have contributed in little ways and in large ways to making this place so vibrant and alive over the past months. But there is one, I have to do it, I hate to do it, but I have to do it, and I love to do it, but it's just, I need to do it because it just needs to be done. There's one person. What you often don't see is when you have a really effectively functioning staff team, you don't see that there's often a key congregational leader behind the scenes who is really just keeping the ball running, keeping balls in the air, making sure that everything is holding together and is organized in a brilliant way. And you've had a person this year, and that person has been Val Welsh. And get up here. Love you. A few years ago, we had a wonderful chairperson of the council. His name was Keith Thompson. And Keith was just a brilliant creative blessing. And Keith was a real visionary, and he was an absolute bright light. But Keith knew that one of his weaknesses and the things that he always needed some support with was really behind really incredible organizational, managerial support to underlie his kind of, dude, this would be great, wonderful, and yeah, like that. And he said, if I'm going to take on chair, I know who I want to be my vice chair, and that was Val Welsh. He said, Val will provide the stability and the rootedness, and she's been around this community forever. She's done every job in this community, but she never chaired council. So one day, Keith and I, we took her out for lunch and we twisted her arm, and it was a setup, absolutely, and she agreed to take on chairing as vice chair, not knowing that we would lose Keith as prematurely as we did, the incredible blessing that he was. But his choice was prescient. It was brilliant because not only did Val carry us through the loss of Keith, but then you went on to carry us through this other transition that I've gone through. And I know how much time she's put in and how much faith and vision and stability and expertise you've brought to us, Val. You've been amazing. So we, on behalf of all of us, want to give you a little token of our appreciation and love, okay? Folks, give her another super big hand. Please be seated. So halfway through the winter, I talked about how I felt like going into chemotherapy treatment felt like I was going into hibernation like a bear, right? And so boys and girls, what do bears do when they go into hibernation? What do? They go to sleep, right? They go into a cave. They are into a nice dry hole, and they just decide to take a good long nap. Sometimes when bears or other critters get sick, they also go into a cave or a hole just to help their bodies rest and get better. But there's something that happens when bears and critters go for a long winter sleep. Do you know what happens? Well, their fur grows longer. Now, I noticed that my fur was growing a little longer. Now, I don't have a whole lot to begin with, but what I do have was growing longer. You notice along the sides here? You notice all that kind of fuzzy-wuzzy kind of stuff, boys and girls? You see that? And it got me thinking. When I come back out of this hole, I need to look a little more decent. I need to look like my old self once again. I need to get rid of all that furry stuff that was growing on my face, right? So, you know, the Old Testament prophets, they used to engage in symbolic acts that would describe their faith and their expectations for the future. Jeremiah, for instance, when Jerusalem was surrounded by armies and everybody was skeptical that the city was going to go down the tubes, it was going to be destroyed, there was no life left in the city, and Jeremiah said, no, that's it. You have faith in God, you believe, you all rally together, and we can pull out of this crisis time we're in. So Jeremiah said, I'm going to buy a property in Jerusalem, and buying that property is going to be a symbol that there is a future to Jerusalem. So I thought, shaving this scruff would be a good symbol that there is a future to our shared ministry together. I'm coming back, clean shaven. Well, except for my goatee. Now, you see, my mother once said to me, David, I love you, I'm your mother, but don't shave that goatee. Now, when your mother says that, that's probably, you should listen, right? You should probably pay attention to that. So I'm not going to do that, but I am going to shave all this excess kind of stuff as a symbol of my return to ministry and my renewed strength and health and well-being and our ongoing ministry together. Kids, do I have a couple of volunteers? Jillian and Hope. Hope, come up here, will you please? And Jillian, where's Jillian? Oh, there you are. Come on up here, you two. So, I bet you have never encountered another church where the minister is shaved in worship. So we're going to do this, right? Are you two going to help me do this? So here's the deal. Here's the deal. Jillian, you're going to hold the mirror for me, and Hope, you're going to hold the bowl for me, right? Okay. Now you gotta hold this right up over here, Jillian. Come around. I got to look at myself right here. And you got to put that underneath here. Now, I didn't bring a free razor for good cause, right? I brought electric razors. This was the advice, right? But I'm going to do this, right? So are you with me? Okay. I bet you girls never thought that you'd ever have to help me shave in church, right? So hang on, I'm going to take this off for a second. You with me? Okay, here we go. There we go. Off comes the beard. Put that right underneath there. Okay. Okay. There we go. What do you think of this? Is this the weirdest thing a minister's ever done in church? But then you know me. I am not your run-of-the-mill. Hold that up there a little bit, Jillian. Yeah. I am not your run-of-the-mill average kind of guy, right? I will do these things. Rick, what do you think? I don't know. He has this capacity to grow a beard a whole lot faster. This was a real major initiative growing this, let me tell you. But I'm, well, let me see if this is working okay. Yeah, boys and girls, what do you think? Is it looking better? Well, I don't know. It's an experiment, you know. This is, yeah, I bet. If this is on YouTube, Paul, it'll go viral. I bet you could charge for this and we'd make $1 million. I told Paul he's got to get us on YouTube because nobody would believe this, that you go to a church where the minister shaved the church. Okay, girls, give it to me. So here's the new me. Clean shaven. Back to my old self. Give me a high five. Awesome. Woohoo. Woohoo. There we go. There we go. Thanks, Rick. Sorry, Bill. I forgot that Bill's here this morning. So here's the thing. My spirit, you could tell, is back 150%, right? Spirit's back 150%. My body is still catching up slightly to my spirit. I need you to know that, right? You don't go through 6 months of chemo and not have a few residual kinds of issues and things. So energy isn't 100%, and a little bit of issue with my veins with chemo treatment and whatnot. But it's all coming back. It's coming back really well. But it's going to take a little while still. And on top of that, all of you know, and dads, this is Father's Day. Let's give a big hand for dads today, okay? That includes me. Oh, big hand for dads. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. But on April 23rd, just before my last chemo treatment, my dear mother, and I'm showing you this picture of her because it's my last most fun image of my mom. She had a lovely sense of humor and she carried it right to the end, and that bear was with her right to the end, and I have that bear and I cuddled him every day, boys and girls. Does that look like a cuddly teddy bear or not? That was her substitute, I think, for me and for my dad when we couldn't always be there. But I'm still grieving the loss of my mom too, right? And it doesn't take a lot for me to be talking about my mom and for the tears to start coming to my eyes. And as I've said to all of you, when you experience, my mom and I were so close, when you experience the loss of someone you love, whom you're so close to, that has an impact on your whole well-being and system as well. That can take some time too. So I miss her. It's amazing. I wouldn't have believed how much she was 96 and lived a full life and the whole works, but I still miss her deeply. So I'm still going through all of that underneath, right? So that's what you don't see under the surface. But I need to tell you that despite the challenges of this past, roughly actually since last September when my mom went into the hospital, what I need to say to you today is I am a wiser, stronger, more compassionate and loving person, having come through this past sort of 3/4 of a year, going through cancer, going through treatment for cancer. I've worked with so many of you over the years, right, who have gone through cancer. But it's another thing being on that side of the equation now, right? And knowing what that's all about firsthand in some form or fashion. So I think my understanding and my empathy and my sense of compassion for all of you who have gone through cancer or will go through cancer, I'm there with you. I'm one with you now, right? I've lost loved ones before, but losing my mother, I know some of you have lost parents in this past year too, and I know what a significant and deep loss that is for you. But having gone through all of that, I can say, yes, I am stronger, more loving, wiser, and deeper at the end of it. You're going to have to wait a couple of weeks. This staff team, they've had all this stuff organized before they thought I was coming back. So it's going to, the next Sundays, a couple of Sundays are taken care of, and we've got it. But in July, you're going to get a series of talks. Somebody said, looking forward to your series. So you're going to get a series of talks in July titled Lessons from the Chair. And the chair I'm referring to, of course, is the chemotherapy treatment chair on the 4th floor of the VG. And so I'm going to share with you Lessons from the Chair, a series of talks in July. But Jen, let's fill up the church. Come on, folks, it's going to be a fascinating series, right? But the one lesson, the one thing I want to leave with you today is this. If there's any one insight I want to leave with you, it's this. There is something about being open to the divine in the midst of our challenges and struggles in life. Life is full of challenges and struggles for all of us. It's part of the package, okay? And we've talked about why that is before and the understanding of God, and we can talk about that again. But life is this mixture of joy and sorrow, strength and weakness, love and companionship and loss, health and sickness. It's all mixed in together. But when we're open to the divine presence that empowers and gives birth to it all in the midst of our struggles, there's something about that openness that is transformational. It leads us to a deeper sense of trust, a giving over, a letting go. And when we learn to see that presence in one another, sharing what I've tried to model for you this year is someone who doesn't go into that. Actually, the cave analogy isn't the best analogy for me this last year, because the better analogy is to open your life, it's to let all sorts of other bears into the cave with you, right? It's to open our lives up to one another, to share our struggles and dilemmas with each other, and to allow the presence of God's Spirit to shine through us, like that light has shone through each of you for me this year, to shine through us one for the other. Because the hands and arms and heart of God is a universal reality, but it's also an incarnate reality, as was demonstrated in the life of Jesus. Incarnate means it's alive in us. And when we tap into it in ourselves, and then we share it with one another, then there is a strength, a healing, a new kind of wisdom that can indeed emerge for us all. And that's been my experience this year. And that's my hope and my prayer, that kind of living with and through our struggles and challenges, be it health-related, be it relationship-related, be it job-related, be it whatever, that kind of openness to the divine and to one another can be a source of healing and health and new wisdom for all of us, the same way as it was for me. There was a lovely little clip on Sesame Street that demonstrated that so well. Rick, can we just take this light out and these two lights out? And Beth, do you have that? Or Paul, I want you to see. I love it. Sesame Street is so cool. Crank it up. Louder.
I'ma keep my head up high, keep on reaching high, never gonna quit, I'll keep getting stronger, and nothing's gonna bring me down, never gonna stop, gotta go, because I know I'll keep getting stronger, and what I am is thoughtful, and what I am is musical, and what I am is smart, and what I am is brave, and what I am is helpful, and what I am is special. There's nothing I can't achieve because in myself I believe in those. Gonna keep our heads up high, keep on reaching high, never gonna quit, just keep getting stronger, and nothing's gonna bring us down, never giving up, gotta go, because I know I'll keep getting stronger. What I am is, what I am is, what I am is, what I am is, what you are is, and what you are is. There's nothing I can't achieve because in myself I believe in you. Gonna hold my head up high, keep on reaching high. I'm never gonna stop, I'll keep getting stronger. Nothing's gonna bring me down, never give it up, gotta go. Yeah, I'll keep getting stronger.
Thank you once again for being this incredible community of spirit, of love, and of healing. Namaste. Now, remember at the beginning I said, I don't want to blow out this candle. Part of it was because I was superstitious. I think that candle should remain lit. It's funny how your own staff team, just like you, we are a microcosm of your community, of this community. Just as all of you have gone through challenges and struggles and will continue to do so in the weeks and the months and the years ahead, we do too. And this last 6-7 months has been sort of a time for me to go through my challenges and struggles. But I think you heard from Rick last week, some of the challenges and struggles he went through earlier in his life. And I know how moving and powerful that was for all of you to hear that. None of us is exempt. And if you're a spiritual leader and a staff member of a spiritual community, you're not exempt from that either. And we have another precious member of our staff community who, just as I was coming out of my treatment, started facing a huge challenge in her own family. I'm going to invite Rick, will you come forward, and Jen, if you're here, and Bonnie and Bill, come on up. And Val, if you'll come up as well. And Ginger, why don't you come forward as well, where you are. So, Gloria, come here. And Len, come here. Becky, you and Irving can come up here too. So stand here in the middle. There we go. And Len. So just as I'm coming out of the news that I'm sort of coming out of chemo treatment and everything's looking really well and cancer's in total remission, Gloria and I were chatting, and in the midst of that process, she and Becky and Irving and Len get the news that her beloved son Shannon was just diagnosed with colon cancer. And the good news is that Shannon just went into surgery this past week on Monday, and there's a fellow with an incredible faith and optimism and spirit, and he's doing really well. They did major surgery, so this is good news. But all that being said and done, there's likely still treatment ahead and probably chemotherapy ahead for him as well. And then at the same time as that's going on, this incredible fellow right here who I have my arm around, Len, her husband. So you see, none of us is immune. In one family at the same time, Len gets diagnosed with prostate cancer. And you're going in for surgery near the end of July. And lots of us guys go through it, but it's still a major deal, right? And Len is facing that bit of a bugaboo right now, and Gloria's facing it with them. And Becky, she says, I got this haywire family. I better get myself checked out because I don't know what's going on with them. I need to. So she's also got some testing coming up as well. So Gloria is going to take a little bit of time off. Not really time off, it's vacation time is what I think it is that you had coming to you. So I'm not, since for the end of June and to the end of July and see how the summer goes to help care for these wonderful guys in her family. So I'm going to, it was my feeling, let's keep that candle lit. Let's keep it lit for Gloria and Len and Shannon and Becky. Let's keep it lit, symbolically at least till Gloria comes back and we hear about Len, for them, but also for all of you who are also still going through cancer treatment, still going through health crises, still going through work challenges or family issues. Let's keep the candle going for a while as a reminder of what I've experienced this year, that we got to keep that love light, that spirit continuing to shine through each and every one of us, through this wonderful Churchill family, for this wonderful Churchill family, and for one another. Let's just bow our heads in prayer. Oh, wonderful God, we thank you for the incredible gift of life. We recognize that this gift has both joy and struggle, light and dark. But we are so grateful that you are present in the midst of it all. We thank you for this incredible community that shines with your spirit and that demonstrates your spirit in carrying acts of love and kindness for one another in such powerful ways. We pray that your spirit may continue to shine through us all, for Len and for Shannon, for Gloria and Becky, for this whole Churchill family, and for all those in our community who may be going through struggle and crisis at this time. And just as we keep this candle lit, may your spirit never cease to shine through each and every one of us individually and this community as a whole. In the name of our brother Jesus, we pray. Amen. Okay. Thank you.
we have a special anthem, which feels very fitting right now, a blessing for David and for this whole community. It's called Namaste. So let's get the BUC choir forward. Our closing hymn today is deep in our hearts. So let's rise and sing together.
So what a wonderful service today. Do you feel the love? It's just everywhere. It's beautiful. And just the unity and the hope and the prayers that we have for more healing. And it's just so beautiful. And so as I extinguish this candle today, which I don't know where the extinguisher went, there it is, I pray that you continue to feel that love and connectedness as a community. And I also invite you to join us. The celebration isn't over. So join us in the church hall where we have cake and coffee and tea and lemonade, and thanks to the United Church Women for providing that. And if you will be able to say and welcome David back personally and say hi to him and his family, and maybe even get a David hug. So we've missed those over the past 6 months for sure. So please join us in the church hall. Thank you.
Let's go at singing, I'm gonna shave so God can use me. I'm gonna shave so God can use me anywhere, Lord, anytime. Apparently in church, I'm gonna shave so God can use me anywhere, Lord, anytime. I'm gonna live so
God can use me anywhere, Lord, anytime. I'm gonna live so God can use me anywhere, Lord, anytime.
big finish. Anywhere, Lord, anytime. Amen.